Hello everyone, I'm Briffy1322 and this video is going to show the fastest cars in terms of lap time that cost under 1 million GTA dollars as of the Arena War update. As always, the position counter is in the top left with the best lap time the vehicle achieved in the top right. And if you're interested in the performance of all vehicles in the game, check the playlist link in the description or the pinned comment alongside the top speed testing series. If you want to know more information about this testing, including the extent to which it's accurate and how useful it is for you personally, have a read of the full description as everything that you need is in there. And for the performance of any future vehicle editions, feel free to subscribe for new testing videos every Thursday and check out my Patreon or become a YouTube member if you'd like to support me and get testing results early. So these vehicles are all, like I said, costing under 1 million GTA dollars, and the prices for each vehicle is in the top left just underneath the position in the respective classes. And obviously over the years, prices of cars in GTA and most other things have increased quite a lot. So it's perhaps unsurprising that a lot of the cars that we're going to see in this list are actually older vehicles that were released in the early days of GTA Online, or perhaps when the game was first released at all, because the prices back then were certainly a lot more manageable. For example, the Forza here in 7th place for this list. It's still in the top 5 for the sports class, which has a huge number of vehicles in it now, and it only costs $145,000. There's so many vehicles that have been released that are slower than a Forza in the sports class that cost significantly more than it. And that is pretty much a similar story. So even though we had, say, the LG Retro Custom, which is a more modern vehicle costing under $1 million, it was still significantly more expensive than something like a Forza because it was close to that $1 million value. The Cheetah was a good one in 10th place. You know, it's still pretty good that it can manage to still be that quick back from the old days. And the same goes for the Infernus here with a 102.9. It is only 29th place in the supercars class. Same with the Penetrator here, which is quite far down, you know, 26th place in supercars, and still costing significantly more than, say, the Infernus that we've just seen. But there are certain vehicles that, even though they're quite far down in the supercars class, because classes are so big these days, especially sports and supercars, being in 25th, 26th, 27th places isn't really it doesn't make cars slow. It's just that there's so many cars in such close proximity. So the Penetrator managed to take 5th place for this list, but in 4th place we've got a sports car, which is basically has always been the ultimate way to get a car that can go quick for a small price, and that's the LG RH8 with a lap time of 102.529, slightly quicker than the Penetrator, and it's still 4th place for the sports class, and it costs nothing. As long as you link your account to Rockstar Social Club, you can get the LG RH8 for free. And yeah, it's significantly less expensive than converting it into the LG Retro Custom, which will actually make it slower as well. But coming into the top 3, we've basically got the 3 old boys, the 3 classic supercars that for a long time, up until really the Ill-Gotten Gains DLCs, were the top dogs in the supercars class and for cars overall in the game. So in 3rd place we've got the Entity XF, which is significantly quicker than the more modern and more expensive Entity XXR, with 102.3, costs basically $800,000, which is a bit of a bargain for a lap time like that. It is only 25th in the supercars class, but considering that 1st place isn't, you know, it's not too much quicker than that. It's just the fact that the classes are so big. The Turismo R is up next with a 101.9, slightly quicker than the Entity, with a slightly better cost to performance ratio as well, being only $500,000. And I say only $500,000, that's still quite expensive, but in comparison to the multi-million-dollar supercars that we have now, that a lot of them are pretty much not that much quicker than the Turismo R, or oftentimes slower. The Turismo R is one of the best bang for your buck cars that you can get. 2nd place in this list overall. It is only beaten by one vehicle that can go quicker than it, and it's surprising that this vehicle still makes it into the top 10 for supercars overall. That's the Zentorno. The old boy Zentorno with a 1 minute lap time, 1 minute 0.9, just gets under that 1 minute 1 second lap time, so it is a full second quicker than the Turismo R. Does manage to still retains 10th place in supercars overall. It is it was always, when it was released, a very impressive vehicle. It was just monstrous. such good acceleration and ability overall. Now it can't handle what the top 5 supercars can do, such as the Wagner and the high downforce vehicles, things like that. But the Zentorno is probably your best bet if you want a really quick supercar that will allow you to compete if you're good enough in a random race with, you know, against other random people. The Zentorno can quite easily compete with those kind of people in the top cars, because it's not that far away, and to only cost $725,000, less than $1 million, obviously, like all the vehicles here, it's still a mightily impressive car. Having said that, I did want to include a little bit of a bonus here, and we'll see this for this video and also for the top speed testing video as well, which will make a little bit more sense as to why I've chosen this vehicle as the bonus. The Bati 801 has always been the best land vehicle that you can buy if you want to go quick. It only costs $15,000, but it's in the top 5 for the motorcycles class overall, gets a lap time that's 2 seconds pretty much quicker than what we saw from the Zentorno, 58-second lap time. The Bati 801 has always been that absolute best way to go quickly for a cheap price. If you're not bothered about whether it's a car or a bike, the Bati 801 is the best one to use for that. Now, here we've got a comparison between the Zentorno and the Elegy RH8. I just wanted to include these because, in a way, even within this list of cheap cars, it's kind of weird to be calling vehicles that are costing $1 million or less cheap, but that's the state of the game right now. Even in this list, it is quite easy to see that there's quite a disparity between price and performance. You're paying $725,000 to get a Zentorno, but you're only going to be 1.5 seconds per lap slower by paying nothing for the Elegy RH8. And then when you extrapolate that to all vehicles in the game, it's certainly not always the case that paying more will give you a quicker vehicle. And I think the Lynx in the sports class is the perfect example of that, being one of the slowest vehicles in the entire sport class, but costing $1.735 million, which is one of the highest prices for any sports car in the game. And the same can certainly be said for a lot of the supercars as well, and muscle cars. Just because you're paying a lot of money for a car doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be giving you great performance. And if money is something that you're tight on, these are the vehicles that you want to be keeping an eye on, because these are the absolute quickest vehicles that you can get for under that magic $1 million value. So that's pretty much it. Remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed or found it helpful, subscribe for more, and consider supporting on Patreon or becoming a member on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.